Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel Let's Talk Business once again. Before starting, I would like to extend my thanks to everyone who is sending me emails and supporting my channel. I really appreciate your feedback and I will try to address a couple of your questions into this session as well as in other sessions. And if you have not able to understand the session fully, then once again I will recommend you to go back and see those sessions from the beginning. It will help you to set up the proper context, and it will help you to understand the market in a better way, in a sequential way. So in today's session we are going to discuss about class ECF and ECF2 ECF Writeback system. So we have a couple of things to cover in this section, so let's start. So far we have covered the introduction about Lloyd's of London. We have also covered its various business processes specific to Lloyd's, ILU and LIRMA. Then we are currently looking at this business process, London Bureau Market process, and within this we have covered quite a lot so far. We have covered market structure, history and overview. We have covered the messages type. We have also covered Accord for All. This is a program which converts the EDI message to the Accord GRLC messages. Then we have also talked about XAG, XDH and TMEL. These are the infrastructure behind the messages. We have also looked at the individual messages like SCM, USM, IPC, DSM and all those messages. Then we also touched upon the business process with upfront premium, business processes with dealing premium where the broker is not having premium upfront with him from the client. And in the last session we discussed about the claim process, and we also touched upon the Accord and Rushilcon messages. And in this session, as I said earlier, we are going to discuss about class ECF, which stands for electronic claim file, and ECF Writeback system. So we have a couple of things to discuss here. In the next session, I'm planning to cover the projects under the term program, which include the SDC, structured data capture, PPL, placement platform limited, data integration, delegate authority, DSATs, and central service refresh program, CSRP. For those who are new to my channel, I'm Ravi Shankar. I'm having more than 14 years of experience in business analysis, and currently I'm working in Lloyd's of London. If you have any query related to this session, you can write me at ravi.s.sharma@hotmail.com, or you can also drop me a message at my LinkedIn inbox. Well, let's begin with the class system. So before starting the class system, let me tell you, class system play a very major role in terms of claim settlement in the London Bureau market, which include Lloyd's, ILU and LIRMA. Because everything is settled and everything is moving within the class system. Here I'm not going to discuss class in detail because, as I said, my intention is to give you an overview about the class system so that you can understand largely what is this class system and how it is placed within the Lloyd's, ILU and LIRMA Bureau market, and what sort of value it delivers within the claim business process. Class stands for Claim Loss Advice and Settlement System, class system. It was developed in 1995 by London Processing Centre, LPC, and it was developed by merging two bureau systems, ILU CLAMS, which stands for Claim Advice Management System, and LIRMA's ELAS system, which is Electronic Loss Advice and Settlement System. CLAMS and ELAS were used by the company market since 1980s, so they are a very mature product before getting merged and formed as a class system. Making class system by merging CLAMS and ELAS means that the business processes are still ILU and LIRMA specific. This makes sense because what happened, these CLAMS and the ELAS system was very old system. They are in the market and they are in a process since 1980. They have been used by ILU and LIRMA companies, so they are very mature. So when they merge together to form a class system, it was very obvious that class system, the new class system, inherited the business processes of ILU and LIRMA. Going forward, in 2001, exchanging was formed by absorbing the processing of LPSO, which stands for Lloyd Policy Signing Office, LCO, Lloyd Claim Office, and LPC, London Processing Center. So these are the three major bureaus which merged together to form a XIS in 2001. Pretty major step in London market, and as most of you might be aware that XIS and XCS serve as a backbone in London market processing. XIS is responsible to manage, maintain, and develop the system used by the London market for policy and claim processing, along with back office processing for ILU, LIRMA, and Lloyd's. So those who are not aware about these three bureaus, they can go back to my previous slides or previous presentations. They can have a fair idea about what are these three bureaus and how they are working within the London market. Going forward, in 2001, XCS was also formed to provide a claim support related to technical and adjustment services to Lloyd's Syndicate, replacing the LCO, Lloyd's Claim Office. So Lloyd's Claim Office was earlier providing the support to Lloyd's Syndicate, but in 2001, XCS was formed and it was decided that this LCO will be merged and XCS will provide the service to Lloyd's Syndicate related to technical and adjustment services. Claim system used by LCO, which stands for Lloyd's Claim Office, in 2001 was COS. Now, so this one is the third system. So COS stands for Claim Office Settlement System, which provide notification of claim advices and settlement transactions. Lloyd's Syndicate. Here is the Lloyd's Syndicate. LLOYDS, Lloyd's Syndicates. So if you can see here, I'm going back to the previous slide. ILU system was CLAMS, LIRMA system was ILAS, and then COS was used by LCO, which was supporting Lloyd's Syndicate. Going forward, so now whenever we talk about the class system, so class got a variation. So as I said over here, one platform but segmented to handle different processes between the Lloyd's and the company market. So whenever somebody said class, then I always ask which version of class you're talking about. You're talking about a broker class or a company class or a XCS class. So these three different variation of class system targeted to manage processes which is broker centric, which is company centric, which include ILU and LIRMA, and then XCS centric, which supports the Lloyd's Syndicate. What is there in the broker class system? So the broker version of the class system is the starting point for all electronic claim in Lloyd's market. And since 2005, it feeds the information to ECF system. Now we know that broker plays a very central role in, you can say, that London market. So the broker version of class system is the starting point of all electronic claims. And this system also feeds the ECF system, which is a new system in Lloyd's market, which stands for electronic claim file system. We will talk about electronic claim file in subsequent slide. It is there in our agenda. So some larger broker create claim in their own system and send the information to class system. Yes. So few larger broker like Aon, Marsh, they use their own system to interact with class system, and to basically they create the claim in their own system and send the information in the form of limb claim messages to the class system. Class system validate those messages and then ensure that the messages are, the limb claim messages is in its own format, and then consume messages and send the information back to the broker stating that the class has consumed the messages. Now company class system, it's a carrier or insurance company version of class system used in the company market. It allows company adjuster to review the claim electronically along with the financial details supplied by the broker. Yes. Once they are satisfied with the claim detail, the company adjuster will send it to broker class system to manage it further. It was used by ILU and LIRMA carriers to respond to the claim electronically and trigger the central settlement. So when we talk about the company market, we are talking about the ILU and LIRMA bureaus and their associated companies. Going forward, XCS version of class system, let's see what it do. XCS class system was developed by exchanging and it replaced the old cost system used by LCO, and its development started in 2002 and the XCS class system went live in 2004. The business process remained the same. The broker will take the physical file, claim file, to the syndicate for agreement and settlement. Once agreed, the broker will present the claim to the XCS to be entered into the XCS class system to generate the claim messages and trigger the central settlement. So how it works, basically when we talk about the XCS class system, in this the process remains same. The broker will create the claim file, it will take the claim file to the syndicate adjuster will review the claim file, and once everything is done, all the processes is agreed, the claim is agreed by the syndicate, then the claim file will be presented to the XCS system and XCS technician will enter the claim into the XCS class system. It also sometimes called as a convergence class system, as its name given to the merge of LCO cross functionality. It also sometimes called as convergence class system, and this is the name given to merge the LCO cross functionality into the class system. Going forward, so what is class in a nutshell? All version of class uses the same DB, but it has a different segment to handle different business processes, as we know. So it has a common DB and platform, infrastructure platform, but it is having a different process for broker class, different processes for XCS class, and different processes for the company class. But they use the common infrastructure and common database. So it's the same system, same UI, using the same infrastructure and same database, but having a different functionality for broker, for XCS, or for company, within company, ILU and LIRMA. Now let's have a quick look on the business process to see how the class system fit into the overall context. So here I'm trying to show the entire process in the form of a swim lane diagram, and the key participant or stakeholder here is broker, lead syndicate, XCS and XIS lead system. Lead system is the Lloyd's main system. So the process start here. Broker create the unique claim reference or transaction in class or their own system. After creating the transaction in class or in their own system, they will send the information to the ECF portal, where the lead syndicate will review and agree the claim. Say for example, if they have any query or if they agree the claim, then the process will go further. If they have any query, they will send it back to broker, and broker will resolve the query, and then it will come back to the same process again. If the lead syndicate is agreed, then the file will be produced to the XCS, and XCS will retrieve the claim from the ECF for the technical processing, then create the claim into the XCS class system. They will allocate the signing number and date SND, and so create claim in class system by copying the data from broker class system. Next is allocate the signing number and date SND, and an SCM and USM message will be generated next morning after the data will feed into the XIS lead system, and it will trigger the central settlement processes. Let's have a quick look on the key point over here. Claim can be created in broker in-house system or class portal. Lim claim message generated from the broker system to send to the class for the consumption. Broker will get a confirmation message if loaded successfully in class. ECF is the only system for Lloyd syndicate to review and respond, since they don't have their functionality into the class system. Now remember, since 1980 class was used by ILU and LIRMA, so So that's the reason they don't have functionality for Lloyd's syndicate. XCS is recorded as a LCO for technical processing. XCS are the creator of messages and trigger the central settlement. XCS uses the Pega workflow system to manage the workflow, which is directly fed by class system. So XCS technician, they use Pega system in order to manage the workflow within their own team, and the information is directly fed by the class system. The XCS enhances the claim by adding the additional Lloyd's data. So once the broker produces the information to the XCS, XCS adds some more information to the broker information in order to complete the claim. XCS will send the USM and SCM movement to syndicate next morning after feeding the data into the lead system. Now moving to the next system, which is the ECF system. ECF stands for Electronic Claim File System. So the original version of electronic claim file allow Lloyd's carrier to review and respond to the claim electronically for the first time, since they don't have access to the class system, while enabling broker to supply an entire claim file electronically to all insurer on risk at the same time. So in this case, what happened in the Lloyd's context, the broker will supply the claim physical file to all the syndicate involved in the risk, but syndicate got a functionality to view and respond the claim electronically into the ECF portal. ECF replaces the face-to-face interaction between broker, who present the paper file, and adjuster for considering an agreement of the claim. It's directly fed by the class system. So the class system is keep on feeding the information to the ECF system. ILU and LIRMA agreement functionality of class system has been incorporated in ECF agreement screen. So they can in ECF agreement screen, we can see in the later slide, they can have a functionality to actually approve the claim from the ECF system. Original company class system is still available via the XIS portal. Those companies who are not able to afford the license of ECF portal, the XIS also provided them a portal functionality through which they can access the class system and manage their claim, but they are very few. Now ECF is a combination of insured market repository IMR and the class system. So I hope you remember that insured market repository IMR is the place where you store all the information like MRC, EMRC and LPAN, etc. It enables carrier to review and respond the claim data and financial in electronic format, which emulate what they will do in the class system exactly. It's a replacement of broker taking physical file to the bureaus. IMR was developed by XIS in early 2000 and has two sections. Section 1 is related to account and settlement, which store MRC, EMRC, which is policy related document, and LPAN, which is a premium processing document. The section 2 was all about ECF, which contain all the claim documents. It enables carrier to review and respond the claim document in electronic format. In another word, you can say that the IMR is a document library allowing policy and claim document to be stored and linked to the policy through UMR, unique market reference, and the claim through UCR, unique claim reference, which is created by broker. Class was already established for the company market carrier as an electronic claim agreement system, which is now used by the Lloyd's carrier. So Lloyd's carrier, in the form of ECF, they started using class and they started managing their claim into the class system. Now look at the interaction between the class and the ECF system. So here is the class system, ECF system and IMR system. The broker create the UCR and transaction into the class system or their own system, which will feed the information to the class system. Then every 15 minutes the data is pumped to the ECF, and ECF is also getting the direct link to the IMR claim side. Now let's talk about the ECF2, Electronic Claim File 2 system, which is an enhancement of ECF system. The enhancement of the electronic claim file, which is ECF2, allow Lloyd's and company carrier to review and respond the claim electronically from one central system, as well as adding several other key components largely around workflow services. Added functionality which is related to review and respond to the claim. So ECF1 or ECF system was not having the workflow functionality, whereas ECF2 is having the workflow functionality, and that is the main difference between the ECF and ECF2 system. Let's look at the ECF2 component. The first component is the claim workflow trigger. This is the production of class data within the XML or CSV file that can be used to populate the carrier workflow system at various interval of time between 15 minutes and daily. CWT output is based upon the event that occurs on each transaction every time the action is taken by the broker. The message, the XML message, is generated according to the Accord GLRC message format. So what happens every time when there is a change in the state of the claim, the CWT, the claim workflow message got triggered, and this message will be sent to all the carrier so that they can update their own system. The second component is claim workflow service. This is also known as allocate function of ECF. The claim workflow service is an optional workflow service hosted by exchanging, accessed via ECF2 and populated from claim workflow trigger. This is a workflow application and enabling transaction linked to the claim to be allocated and routed to the carrier at the organization, department and individual level. So the claim workflow service is the optional service which the bureaus can opt. Now the third service is the important service is the claim agreement screen, we also called as a CAS. The split between a review and response pane to the transaction to be reviewed and responded. CAS provide the same user interface for each bureau. So what happened here, you have a screen, and here you will have a one tab for review and the another tab for response, review, RE-view and RES. So here what will happen, if you select this particular tab, you can able to see a lot of information about the claim, what is feed to the carrier system or to the ECF system, and then in the response tab you will have a drop down where you can you'll have a lot of reason over here. You can accept the claim file, you can reject the claim file, and you can take the claim file to the next level. So you have a response screen over here which will enable carrier or broker to respond on the claim. Then you have other functionality called a document file viewer functionality, which provide access to the claim and the policy related document loaded in the IMR. Then we have other functionality called document file viewer functionality. This provide access to the claim and policy related document loaded to IMR system, Insure Market Repository, which is related to the UCR and UMR. DFV also allow carrier to tailor their view of claim and policy related document and stitching them into one single PDF document. So key functionality over here, this component allow a functionality to stitch the various PDF document and produce one common document so that the broker can able to search the one mega PDF for any information rather than opening a different PDF and searching in a different PDF. So this is one of the good functionality in the ECF2 system. Now let's talk about the ECF Writeback system, which is the further enhancement of ECF systems. Now the ECF Writeback system introduced in 2015, Writeback functionality provide additional functionality as mentioned. ECF Writeback is governed by the LMA, London Market Association. It provides flexibility to manage claim in carrier own system rather than managing claim in two systems, i.e. their own system and ECF system. So what was happening earlier, the carrier was having two systems to work on. One is the ECF system and one is their own system. So whenever they work on the claim, they are having two screens open, ECF screen and their own screen, and they work on the ECF screen, and then they have to emulate the same work in their own system. So they have to do the same work twice. So now the ECF Writeback targeted to remove this redundancy from their process. It provides functionality to review and respond the ECF claim within their own system, which reduces the need to log into the ECF system. So what is happening earlier, that in order to review and respond to the claim, the carrier must log into the ECF system, and from there they have to go and they have to review and respond to the claim. Now with the ECF Writeback functionality, they are having a functionality with them in their own system to review and respond the claim. So say for example, if the carrier is using their own underwriting system or policy administration system or claim management system, then ECF Writeback will send the information to their claim management system, and they can able to review and respond to the claim from their own claim management system. So they don't need to log into the ECF system again. It provides functionality to interface with class ECF and IMR system, which means that the better claim management round the clock 24/7. ECF system was only available from 7 AM to 7 PM. Remember, in the last sessions I explained that the entire Lloyd's processing will shut down for the day end processing. You cannot do any transactions, so all these systems will not be available for you to transact. Okay, so LMA provide the authorization to use the ECF Writeback within the Lloyd's setup after having a joint integration testing, and in company's market setup after having the market acceptance testing. Now the ECF Writeback got a two phases. Writeback got a two phases. It was agreed to deliver in Writeback in two phases. Phase 1, event triggers, web services for claim review and response, DRI search, download and upload information, whereas the phase 2 was largely about the full Writeback solution with accord messaging in place, and will be largely around accord ECOT messages, ECOT and EBOT messages. Now the ECF Writeback functionality, Writeback functionality services are: in phase 1, it consists 6 main mandatory services provided by XIS. First one, a claim notify. It was near real-time trigger to notify carriers of the event, contained all the claim data and list of related claim document within the claim notify. Then you have a service which will help you to retrieve the claim from the ECF system, the web service that will allow carrier to retrieve the claim data from the given UMR, UCR and TR. Response contain all the claim data and list of related document. When you get the response back, it contains all the claim data and the list of related claim document. Then the third service, DRI search, and DRI stand for document repository interface, and this is a accord standard used. DRI is basically accord standard. The service will allow carrier to search for the list of document related to UMR, UCR and TR combination they supply. Then you have a DRI download service that provide ability to carrier to download the document from the IMR system to their local repository. Then you have a claim response services that allow carrier to submit their claim response in line with the existing CAS functionality. Okay. Then you have a DRI upload functionality, which means that the service will allow carrier to submit the document related to UMR, UCR and transaction to the IMR system. Some of the key benefit of Writeback functionality are saving in effort and cost through a single operating model, remove duplication of effort caused by working across multiple systems, reduce restrictions to the central system working hours, because now it is available for 24/7, partial insulation from risk of central system, performance issue and unavailability, reduces effort and make the handling of the claim simpler, improve access to claim data and information. So these are some of the key benefits of Writeback. So well, that's the end of this session. So in this session, we covered the overview of class system. We touched upon the ECF, ECF2 and ECF Writeback system. So thanks a lot for your time, and I hope you have enjoyed this session. And in next session, we'll talk about the various term programs. Thanks a lot, and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.